teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. It's a pleasure to have you all here. So I meant to react to this video a couple of days ago when it came out, but despite Chantal's beliefs, she is not the center of my earnings or my universe, and a video game I play got updated and I was sorting out some things for school. So I've made some cookie dough for a charity like coffee morning for cancer we're doing, and I have to bake those this weekend. But the other event I was preparing for has been pushed back a couple of weeks in the schedule, so I've got a little bit of time. She put out a video. She did some other things this week, let's not get ahead of ourselves. She was very active on her community tab. A lot of rage. A lot of rage, which isn't unexpected. Whenever she does these things where she rage quits YouTube, she came back very soon after, but whenever she does those things, it's just everything building up and then lashing out. And when she doesn't have YouTube as her outlet, and presumably she's being fake AF with this new guy behind the scenes during the hours that they're live streaming, she's only got so long she can go before everything bubbles over. And so the outlet we saw this week was her hatred of reaction channels, of which she has been watching a lot. Oh, she's mentioning them more and more and more. So clearly when she's not talking to him and she can't go online because, she can't go online even though she's done several lives, then she's just following any mention she can in reaction channels, because some of the ones she's been going after are smaller channels, even ones that shouldn't be, but have no reason to be on her radar. So clearly she's not disengaging the way she claims she is. But within the community this week, there seems to have been a lot of discussion about the new guy, as you would expect there would be. And some people, again, I don't like interacting directly with her life. Some people have been trying to reach out to this guy. There's been talk about profiles still being active in different places, about him replying to people who are trying to contact him. I take all of this with a grain of salt because, and this will be a big talking point in a little bit, the internet is easy to fake. Yeah, it's extremely easy to fake, and that's central to things like romance scams, which we may discuss. And it's also within the community that she has and the wider audience that she has. Could I believe that he's a scammer who will reach out to anybody? Yeah. Could I believe that someone within the audience would fake it to try and stir up reaction channels? Yeah. Do I believe the internet is fundamentally unreliable? Yeah. So you can't say it's definitely him doing this, and you can't say it's not. She's going to try, but you can't say it. It's simply, there is no way to tell. Except she thinks there is, and she's mad about it. So I'm just going to do a direct react because it's only 9.5 minutes, and let's get into the video. The intro still makes me nostalgic every time.
Hello, Foodie Beauties.
Hello.
Hi, marhaba, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. Yes, I have decided to do a video to talk a bit about, I guess, just what's on my mind.
The rage. Can I say the filter is doing a job here? Like, wow, the filter's doing a job here. I think she's gone back to that lip gloss. You remember she's got that lip gloss that she's allergic to, but it's the plumper. And so all around her lips are red. There was more discussion about that on Twitter. It may be being an STD, it may be being signs of drug use, but I think she's just gone back to that stupid lip gloss that she won't leave alone. But the filter's doing a really nice job on her makeup here. When she blinks, it looks perfectly blended.
And I didn't really feel like going live. As you know, I'm kind of in weird moods. And sometimes I just feel like doing
rages, yeah.
videos. So
sometimes she feels like not having people being able to talk back at her. So
I'm just wanting to...
Healthy queen. She drinks a whole jug every night. Notice she's still got boxes in the background, and this is a very narrow cut because you don't want to see evidence of everything else she does every night.
I guess talk about some, I don't know if it's like prejudices or what you would call it, but definitely misconceptions. And this is gonna sound super snotty, but I want every woman out there to know that if you are so desperate that you have to enter the DMs of somebody that I'm involved with.
Can I say here, desperate for what? Do they just mean desperate for the truth because she's never going to give it? Or desperate for a man? Because that's kind of the vibes it's giving me, where she's like, no, he's with me, he's mine. No one's actually fighting to be with him. They just want to know what the truth is. I still don't think they should be reaching out. I don't know who did it, but I know there were a few examples going around. Like, no. I think we can discuss it without doing that, but it's an interesting thing.
Or try to. I need you to know that any reply you get from anyone calling themselves Sala, like they even have the nerve to pretend to be that worthy.
I have watched this once before, but every time I hear it, it makes me laugh. Guys, this is giving big cult energy, okay? That they would be worthy to use the name. Guys, it's a pretty common name here. Yeah. That they would be worthy to use the name Bob. Oh man, you know who she reminds me of? I hadn't thought about this show in a while. I only ever watched the first series, but it was on Netflix. Is it Kimmy Schmidt? No, Unbreakable. I was like, Breakable? No, that's not right. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. There was a scene right at the beginning of the very first episode where they get pulled out of like an underground cult. And there's a few different women, and obviously Kimmy is the one who's special and understands that something was wrong. But there's another woman who joined the cult voluntarily. I'm gonna put a clip in and hope I don't get claimed for it.
You joined this cult willingly.
Yes. The Reverend had bought some of my hair on Craigslist, and we started emailing, and I just thought he had some real good ideas.
So Mole Women, what happens next? What do you do now?
I go with you now. Yes, I'm married to you.
No, Gretchen, no.
But big this energy, where she's just like, that you think you'd even be worthy to be contacted. And I'm like, okay, so the story right now is this is a fake account. So all the anger is just kind of, jealousy might not be the right word, but just awareness that other women are trying to talk to him. Because Foodie is not very confident. She has this false bravado she puts out, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But generally, she tends to shrivel up the moment she's actually confronted with anything. Do you remember ages ago when she was walking and someone said in French that she was fat, I think it was, and she was near tears? She doesn't have a strong sense of self, and she's quite fragile in her own ways. And part of that is the reason why she gets so loud. It's the opposite. It's trying to cover all that up. But this has a few prongs. One, big cult energy, and two, keep your hands off my boyfriend. I'm better than you, because she's a bit nervous about what might happen.
To even enter his DMs, any reply you get is fake because...
Okay, so why are you so worried then? If it's a fake account doing fake troll account things, there's no need to be concerned. There's no need to have a video replying. All this video does is make me think those accounts are real. Because as ever, it's not what's happening, it's her response to what's happening. And this is why she's such a bad liar. Because when confronted with lies, she doesn't do very well. She's not as convincing as she looks.
This man spends hours on video.
If only there was a handle for that purpose.
Call with me every day.
Okay.
Shows me screenshots of every single person trying to follow him.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about this bullshit, shall we? Number one, Foodie herself is a liar. And Foodie herself has been through this. She knows damn well it's easy to hide things even when you're talking to somebody a lot, because she had a literal year when she was live streaming for hours with us while trying to hide the relationship with Nada, when it was on again, off again, yeah? While trying to hide the things she was doing with Nada. Now, she's not a very good liar. And she's got a whole community ready to pick her apart, and that is true. And so when things don't make sense, people can unravel it pretty quickly. But Foodie herself is extremely gullible in a way that's quite surprising for how much she lies. And maybe that's why she's a bad liar, because she assumes everybody else is as gullible as she is. And so what seems believable to her isn't always believable, but she would believe it. Does that make sense at all? So my confidence in her ability to see past anything she wants into some quite transparent lies, to be able to follow through with the questions or just take the evidence. Which side of that do I think she's going to be on? I think they've definitely had a conversation, because Foodie's like that. She is jealous. She is controlling. She will text 1,000 times a day. So there's no way at all that pictures would surface of someone with his name responding to reactors or audience members, and they wouldn't have had a big conversation about it, because she would have gone in ready for a fight. But the fact that she believes that it's impossible for him to be faking this around the live streams, not the live streams, the live chats they're having together on video chat, is utterly bizarre to me. Because she mentions in a minute, well, how are they doing that? Well, there's a time difference, we make it work. Okay, but she goes on live for hours and she sleeps. So clearly he has more than enough time. And if the scam is as practiced as it could be, I'm not ruling out that 1% that sometimes these things happen and maybe it's true love, or however unlikely, but the overwhelming likeliness is of a scam, then I can't believe, you can't believe, that he might not be practiced in this and might not be able to work around the parameters we're setting. How do you know that he's shown you every person? It would be hundreds at this point. Once someone starts a thing in this community, people jump on the bandwagon. Lots of people would have been messaging him, you don't have access to accounts, and I don't think anyone should have access to partner accounts. I don't think that's a great level of trust between partners, but she doesn't have access. She doesn't know that what she's being shown is all. Why isn't she asking these questions? The answer is because she doesn't want to know.
Has all comments turned off, is not accepting new friend requests anywhere,
supposedly.
And his dating app that you're so hanging on to as proof that this man doesn't love me. Please.
That was very practiced. She has practiced this behind the scenes. But I thought you said those apps were fake. So are they fake or are they stupid? Are they real and stupid?
You're so gullible, just like you all accuse me of being.
Yeah, we accuse you of being for all the reasons I've just mentioned. Because ultimately, I'm sitting here and I don't have a romance scammer trying to take my money. And we're in very different places with that.
I'm sorry, or should I say, I apologize.
There was a cut right before she started that apology. So clearly she went through a few takes to make it look like this.
If I sound bitter, yeah, I'm a little bitter. I'm trying to do better for my life, and I have people everywhere trying to pull me back down into the stinky bog with them.
Don't do Ludo like that. Don't do Ludo like that. That's the bog of eternal stench. That is a classic piece of my childhood.
You can stay there. I'm moving on up.
Is this her moving on up, by the way? Photoshopping reactors' faces onto different movie monsters? Although Ludo's not a monster. Ludo is friend. Or photoshopping dogs' faces onto parts of other people's. Is that you getting out of the mud? Is that you climbing up and living beyond? Because it doesn't seem to be.
Getting married. I'm going to live an amazing life. This move is happening. I'm glowing up in life. If it got so far as to her actually
getting married online, going to Kuwait, doing whatever, which they don't have the visas for right now. And I don't know, she doesn't follow through on anything. This seems an odd first thing, but if she were going to follow through to spite anybody, this would be it. Just, you know, what can ruin your life the most? Let's do this one. But if she did, she would lead an incredible life. I would absolutely agree with her there, but not incredible in the positive light that she's painting it. It would be quite something.
Behind the scenes, and from now on, I'm only allowing you whatever privacy I want to give you. And honestly, the way things are going to be going with my channel, probably not much.
Yeah, on her community tab right now, it says that she's going to be offline for a while, that there is a fake Foodie Beauty going around. So if you get a reply from her, it's fake, which gives her an interesting out if she starts raging at reactor channels. So now she can just be like, oh no, it's a fake account. Oh, really? It's a fake account that sounds exactly like you, though. And somehow you're managing to stay offline without raging? That seems unlikely. But again, people fake accounts all the time. Absolutely could be a fake account. We'll see what the fake account does, shall we? Could you imagine, like, that would actually be like a double play of I've got a fake account of my own name. That would be quite fun. But anyway, so she's going to be active posting pictures on Instagram, but not on YouTube. That's interesting to me. And I'm going to let her talk for a minute, but we'll get into it.
My privacy is something I have not valued my entire life. Do I regret that? I see people, desperate reaction channels and desperate women, trying to break this up, but it's not going to happen.
I'm not going to put the effort into breaking you two up because it's a win-win for reaction channels. That's what I don't understand. Like, if you go purely on the value of reactions, on the money it makes, on the whatever you do, on the attention you get, whatever your motivations for reacting are, if you work on purely that, it's a no-lose situation. Because either she's going to break her word and she's going to go nuts, and that's something to react to, or she's not going to and she's going to turn up in Kuwait, and that's something to react to. We get content regardless of what she does, because she's never going to let go of being online. Never, ever. She's done this before where she's taken breaks. She couldn't maintain the break this week, but she's taken breaks. She can't maintain the persona she's trying to put on for long enough to be able to give up online, because it's her outlet. So when I say none of us are concerned, none of us are concerned.
Why would Salah, and listen carefully,
I'm listening.
ladies,
I'm here.
Why would Salah go for you girls when he has a Canadian queen like me?
Oh, because the Canadian queen doesn't ask questions. And when she does, she believes whatever bullshit answer she is given.
You make no sense.
Yeah, we make no sense. We make no sense because when we're given information, we question it. Of course we make no sense, because this kind of scam wouldn't work on everybody. It requires a very special kind of person. Someone who is willing to believe and to have faith in another human in a way that a lot of us would question first. Of course we're not suitable. It wouldn't work on us.
Anyway, I'm just terribly bored with all this
Notice the cut again, it takes practice.
speculation I'm seeing, and I have to tell you, none of it's true.
None of it's true, but I need a video addressing it because, you know, I have to make sure you know it. But it doesn't matter.
I want to just say, if I'm being scammed, why has he not made any videos to try to leech off my YouTube channel? Why has he not been pushing me to do content?
Because something, I'd say, reasonably unique about Foodie at the moment, something that makes her such a good target, is the fact that he's already had an example of what not to do. When Nada was in the picture, that's exactly what Nada did. And this guy has evidence of that. This guy has seen what happens when he goes online. And that's not the scam he's trying to pull. That's not the point of what he's trying to do. Privacy is key to this working because not everybody is as gullible as Foodie. Most people, shown enough red flags by enough people and enough evidence in enough places, will begin to question their actions. And Foodie doesn't, because Foodie is so determined that I will do what I want, that she'll do it to spite herself, easily to spite herself. So he doesn't want to be online because she isn't the only one he's ever going to do this to. And being online harms his ability to do this again.
Why has
Publicly online.
he's promised to take care of me as my husband?
Because what else would he do? Why would you leave this in?
This is what a real man does.
This is what a real scam does.
I have found myself a real man, yes, halfway across the world. It's a vast world. Why am I going to be closed-minded and limit myself to someone here?
She seems to think the problem is that he's a foreigner. We have no expectation that she would date someone locally. The only white guy she's ever dated was Pete, and that seems to have been more proximity than passion. Yeah? The expectation is that she's going to find some foreign guy for all the reasons of power and the imbalance that we've discussed as being a little bit ick. Like, I wouldn't expect her to do anything else. But even if you take out the internet of it all, even if you take out all of that history, the relationship taken in a vacuum has been incredibly alarming, has moved at an alarming pace. And were Foodie capable of triggering these kinds of emotions in me anymore, and God, it's been a long time since she's been able to, it would be worrisome. Even without the other stuff, it would be worrisome.
Salah is my soulmate. He happens to be in another country.
Yeah.
So we're going to make it happen. I can. And I will.
Of course you can. This whole thing relies on the fact that you can. Because that's the real scam there. It's making you believe that it's your choice. Because he can't do anything from the other side of the world except convince you to do whatever he wants. Convince you to come on over. Now, maybe he hasn't asked you to send money yet. Maybe not. He's still building. For anyone outside of this, 2 weeks is not a very long time. There is a process to this. Of course, he wants to win your trust first, but look at what she's given up in the last 2 weeks in terms of what she does with her channel, in terms of how she's presenting herself. There's already some quite big limitations. Now, she hasn't been keeping to those limitations because she's absolutely incapable, but there's been more change in what she's presented now than we've seen in quite a long time, even if we don't think it can be maintained. Of course, he hasn't asked you for anything yet. But suddenly, we're getting married. Oh, I have to pay the license fee. Oh, you need a plane ticket. Okay, well, this is the visa. If you send money to this guy for the visa, which is an absolutely acceptable cost, it's okay for Canadians. We can get through this. This is the agent that will do it. Can you send all your ID paperwork and some money to them, and they'll get the license prepared? Whatever he's after, whether it's direct cash, whether it's ID documents that will be used later, because even if she's not involved, if he can get a copy of her ID, he can do a lot with it. Even if the aim is to get her over to the Middle East to do something else, there's a lot of ways this could go wrong.
What other scams? He's using me for citizenship. Number one, we don't have green cards here. Sponsoring a spouse, yes, it's a big process. It's not just quick and easy like that.
Is getting a green card quick and easy? I was under the impression it wasn't. But I don't think he has an interest at the moment in coming over to Canada. I don't think that's the scam at all. I think he either wants something from Canada, wants to run something through Canada with her as the patsy for that, or he wants her over in the Middle East for whatever reason. Maybe because when you're married in the Middle East, the rights are a lot more with the husband, and then he's got a lot more freedom to do what he wants.
Also, who says he's even coming here right now?
Yeah, like I said, he might not be. He's got a lot more power not being in Canada than being in Canada.
This is the thing. I even saw a rumor that he has no family. How are people making these claims when they don't even know us?
You don't even know him. You know whatever he's given out online, and maybe he does have family. I don't think in the list of information that's currently being speculated on, that is even really a priority. Based on the Facebook profiles that were found, apparently he's got a nephew or something, but I don't like to bring that stuff online. That's peripheral, that's not something I'm getting into. Assuming this guy is even the guy we think it is, I don't think that's relevant. But I don't think the major issue of what we're talking about is whether he's got family or not. I don't think that's important.
They don't know anything. And guess what? You're not going to.
I find that very hard to believe, because her dying wish will be to have a couples channel. Her wants and her needs from this relationship have been clear for years, pre-Nada. Back with BB, BB didn't like to be on camera. And even when she could get him on camera, it just didn't project the image she wanted. She has said for years that she wants a couple channel, that she wants to travel. And unsurprisingly, this guy is offering her everything she wants. It seems too good to be true, doesn't it? Maybe something to think about, maybe not, maybe just continue with how you're going and we'll get content out of it. Maybe. But the idea that she's going to be able to keep any of it private is laughable. Because if there's one consistent thing we can give to Foodie, it's that she absolutely cannot keep her business offline.
I have every right to my privacy. I'm taking back my privacy.
We'll see.
You can put every video, every thumbnail, every picture of me you want of my past.
I'm sure people will. Who is it? Is it Just Saying that's running, or is it Barbecue Chicken that's running the 50 Shades of Chantal right now? 50 Shades of Foodie Beauty with all the clips. Just something to keep in mind. And this is the thing. It doesn't actually matter what her reputation is online. The only thing that matters is that she doesn't talk about him so that he can keep running this scam with her and he can continue to run it in the future. So look at the shiny thing. Look at the shiny thing. Don't look over here. Let her rage about this online and don't rage about other things.
And that hasn't scared him away. He knows who I am. He knows I'm Foodie Beauty. And he loves me for me.
I bet he loves you for you. Because who you are, again, quite uniquely, is a pigeon waiting to be plucked. You are a mark. You are the ideal mark. And if you weren't Foodie Beauty, if you didn't have this mess online, if you weren't so vulnerable, which is the kindest way I can say for gullible, if you didn't have exactly the combination of things you have in your past making you so ideally suited for this scam, he wouldn't target you this way. He would have tried and he would have given up, as he would have with other people, as he will again in the future.
As a person, I have a lot to offer. Just because I pick my nose in old videos means I'm not worthy of love.
Oh, you do a lot of things in old videos that are far less excusable than that. And I think you know it. But again, oh, you're saying he doesn't have family? No, that's not the point of what people are doing. But let's just keep willfully ignoring it.
Okay. Or maybe because I went through a hard time and I was in an abusive relationship and resorted to drugs.
Maybe because you call people the hard R word. Maybe because you're constantly racist. Maybe because you called another Middle Eastern man a camel with AIDS. Maybe because you are constantly insulting marginalized groups. You've done much worse things than what you are naming.
to cope with things, so that's gonna be rubbed in my face over and over. Nice try, but no, I don't live in the past. You guys do. I'm moving forward, and so are my beezers.
Okay, so this is you not living in the past. This is you just cutting it off. I'm not mentioning this again, you guys. This is the last time I'll address it. Again, it's that need for the mic drop moment that's going to kill her. She can't leave things alone. She just can't, because she's always got to have the last word, and she never gets it, so it never stops.
My loyal beezers, and that's all that matters.
How are you going to have your loyal beezers if you're not online? Because not being online is the only way you're going to do this.
And the rest will... whatever.
Whatever.
Also, I would like everyone to reach out to people who are having their names mispronounced over and over.
So people informed me after either my last video or the video before that the reason people use the word salad is because one of her beezers' phones auto-corrected to salad when they tried to write his name. And that's where it came from. That's not to ignore this practice. The practice of not pronouncing somebody's name or not being bothered to pronounce somebody's name correctly is a thing that happens. And it's not acceptable, quite frankly. One of the things I always teach my kids, it's such a minor thing and it's nothing compared to this, but when we're using capital letters, what I really want to instill in them is names are important and so are you, and therefore give yourself a capital letter because you deserve to be proud of your name. Yeah, and it kind of, the thought process behind that sort of links into this. And it's kind of a sore spot for me as well, because I'm not about to put my real name online, but my real name is one that is constantly misspelled. And I'm not going to pretend it's the same. I'm a white girl with very few of the problems that people of marginalized groups face. But I always found it a little bit of a hot button for me, and it's something I really try with the kids to be respectful of, especially as I'm not great at pronouncing certain things and it is a new language to me a lot of the time. So this is a really important point that she's just abusing for her own use.
Go ask them if that matters. Go ask them if that matters. I will let you know there's one reaction channel particularly who keeps being racist just because that's the only way they feel they can get to me.
This could be any number of people at this point. She doesn't, I mean, they're obviously getting to her because she's mentioning it, but what she considers, what she'll use as racism versus what actually is always interesting to me.
Out of desperation.
I don't know who she's talking
but
about.
Every
here.
harassment is being documented and noted, and I'm actually in contact with a representative from YouTube about a lot of things.
Because YouTube has always been a great go-to for help.
This might take a while, maybe, I don't know how long.
Long enough for her to forget about it or realize that she can't pursue it, I'm guessing.
I mean, I guess while they look into it. But
Convincing.
I'm tired of not fighting for my rights in any way.
We've had this conversation before. Ad nauseum, we have had this conversation before. Way back when she came into my channel and my comments and was complaining about the content I put out. Way back when she was complaining about Charlie, when she complains about FFG, when she complains about Zach, when she complained about loads of other people. The only time she has ever actually struck people has ended up with them being reinstated and her being embarrassed. But she gets angry and she forgets and she makes a fool of herself.
The rights to my privacy, I need to take responsibility for myself. But where's the community's responsibility and everything? So it's okay to just be racist and just say racist things now and just, so the onus is still on me for that, right? Because of some...
If you're being racist, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't understand this reference because she doesn't want to say the name of whoever she's talking about. But I can't speak for the community. I can tell you what I do on my channel. I react to what's on screen. If what I think she's doing is racist, then it becomes a topic of conversation.
A comment I made a long time ago that wasn't even racist.
We've got quite a selection of comments you have made.
Yeah, okay. You're all crappy, and
Oh, burn.
Every time you do something racist like that, I will report you. All right, so just a brief history on this racism
Number one. Oh, the bitterness of the play button. You have to cover it up. Oh, the burn. Does it burn, Foodie? Does it burn that she's got a play button and you don't, that you've been stagnating within your channel memberships for this long? Does it? Oh, the pettiness. 2, I love that she chose this screenshot because God forbid she choose one with Charlie looking decent and just sitting there. But I suppose people abuse all her thumbnails all the time. I guess I can see why. But this is the example she's choosing. This is the example of the behavior that she wants to fight on. The Charlie Cole comment has been discussed, has been apologized for multiple times with diminishing believability. And the first one wasn't even that great. She had Pete's apologize the first time. Of all the comments you could grab hold of to try and defend, this is the one you're going to unearth because you hate Charlie that much and because all the others that are more recent, you can't defend. Now, personally, I don't think her defense of this one is particularly good, but she's only ever gotten worse. She's never gotten better. So, of course, she has to reach back this far. She doesn't have an argument for any others.
Accusation, which is so contrived and so far-fetched. It's insane. But anyway, this person, Charlie Gold, was a reaction channel up my butt and around the corner since I started YouTube, basically.
I'm probably going to cut the argument against this. We've done it before and it's just extra time at this point. But she hasn't changed what she said about Cole being the colour of her soul and not the colour of her skin. That's all you really need to know.
That person is obviously just bitter and jealous that they can't...
Oh, it's FFG. Okay. That's where we are. I should have known.
Can't be me and have my life and have the men in my life.
Did she just say FFG is jealous of her men? Your men are a romance scammer in Kuwait and nada. Oh no.
It's a problem and it's actually scary and it is harassment and I'm dealing with it behind the scenes. Also,
Yeah, sure.
I just want to say
Wow, that is... What filter is that? That filter is doing a job.
desperately that you will not find a Tinder account for Salah anywhere. So have fun.
Evidence to the contrary. But it's definitely fake, you guys. So if you get anything, it's definitely fake.
With that. That is clearly fake. People are trying so hard to do anything.
It actually could be, but her response tells me maybe not.
To make me miserable.
Why be so
and
scared if
split
it's
us up.
fake?
Again.
Why would it split you up if it's fake? Why would you have to worry about this if it's so obviously fake?
It's not gonna work. Only God will keep me from this man and my...
I just got a sudden image of a lightning strike. Oh. Even God says no.
future. I also don't know where people are surprised about my bitchy community posts.
Oh, I'm not surprised by them at all. It's you that are setting you up as a changed woman. We're not stupid enough to actually believe it.
My community post being ageist was directly in response, as I said in my video, to this old woman constantly fat shaming me. So, sorry?
She's not sorry at all. It's fine. Look, I don't know the reaction channel that she's currently mad at, but the older lady, according to the thing, called her a sow, and then, sorry, I said I don't know, I don't watch her regularly. Someone mentioned her in the comments the other day, and I clicked into her channel, but called her a sow, and she called her a mummy. Like, it's tit for tat. I don't think the woman involved particularly cares about Chantal's opinion, so obviously there are no hurt feelings there. However, Chantal limped away from the last comment interaction with her. So I think Foodie's a bit more pressed than this woman is, really. But the point of all of this isn't what she's doing. It's the fact that despite the fact she says she's a changed woman, despite the fact that she's starting a new life, she's leaving all this drama behind, when it comes down to it, she gets mad and she goes low because she doesn't know another way to be.
Unbelievable. So yes, I guess for those who are just like, let's see her rage.
Yeah.
Here you go, I guess. I don't know what makes your day, floats your boat, makes you alive in life, but apparently seeing me rage does it, and
Seeing you rage doesn't particularly affect my life, other than the fact that it gives me a bit more content. Yeah, that's what she doesn't get. Like, I don't spend my life intervening with hers and planning how I can trigger her, because she's eminently triggerable. I don't need to try. I can just sit here and she can say, I'm not coming back online, and I'll go, okay. And I'll take a sip of my coffee, and by the time it gets back down to the table, she is live and raging. Nobody needs to work that hard. I have other things to do in my life. There's a reason that the videos have been less frequent. Yeah? We don't need to try. You do this to yourself. And ultimately, that's the issue here. All this stuff that she blames on reaction channels are a result of her own actions. Way back when, a long time ago, she was known as the nicer Canadian Amber Lynn Reid. Her reputation didn't used to be this bad. She lost it for herself. And when she comes in and she goes, oh, this isn't real and this isn't the case, and the way she reacts gives us more information than any lie that may or may not have been told. And if she just didn't, we wouldn't know half the things we know. So you lose it for yourself, my darling. What comes of this? It's on you, not us.
really, that's really sad that actually speaks more about you than it ever will about me, honey.
Oh, burn.
Stay
Honey.
mad.
Okay, I'm raging, you can see. My tea is bubbling.
Now, I've addressed my haters ad nauseum, so I want to address my followers and my beezers, and I just want to say I miss you guys so much, and again...
And if you believe it, you are stupider than she is.
I thank you. I'm in a transition period in my life. I will be back as soon as I can, but there will be a lot of changes, like a lot, but it's gonna be a good...
Right now, my bet is on some kind of online marriage, because that's the way a lot of these scams go. If we can do it kind of virtually and online, and then you can move on through, and she can maybe go visit. Family visas still aren't up though, so I don't understand how she's doing that. But clearly he's researched it, so...
So be patient and be proud to be a beezer. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.
And there we go. Currently, she is isolated to Instagram. We'll see how long that lasts. She might be live now, who knows? She's been a little bit quieter on the YouTube, certainly. But like I said, nothing can last. It's not the way she operates. So we're going to see how much damage this does, because that's the path she's on right now. Because even if she were to see all of the red flags, wake up this morning and the scales have fallen from her eyes and the rose-tinted glasses are off and it's done, I think, A, she would trade everything to be able to present online that she's in a relationship and she's traveling and all of that things. I think the trade would be worth it to her, just as the trade of the abusive relationship, all you had to do was fake love me, would have been enough for her. She would have stayed in it a lot longer if she'd been able to present it online differently. And I think even if that's the case, even if she sees everything, now that she's taken such a stand about it online, she would rather go through with it than admit that the audience was right. So we're going to see this run through to disaster, because that's the only possible ending I can currently see for this. And if that happens, I'll be here. All right, everybody, I'm going to see you next time. Bye-bye.